Hello guys, welcome back to LR Anime. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Renegade Immortal 116 based on novel. So let's start. Wang Lin immediately felt an unimaginable force coming at him. A series of cracking sounds came from the pinky with the underworld finger and the force spread across his body. Wang Lin's body was pushed back by this force and 2 skid marks was created by him. He was forced back 30 feet before he took a step back and stopped himself. As the shockwave spread out, those demon soldiers that had their lives taken by the underworld finger turned to dust. In addition to all of this, every building within 5 kilometers collapsed. The collapsing bodies and buildings created an air blast that spread out very far. Only those several people that had cultivation equal to that of soul transformation cultivators or higher were able to survive in this storm. At the same time, the slaughter gas formed from the celestial slaughter art flew toward Wang Lin from all the pieces of scattered flesh. What a powerful spell! A low voice came from before Wang Lin. After the dust settled, the demon general's large figure was revealed. After he finished speaking, his body wobbled as he forced himself from being knocked backwards. The demonic spiritual energy inside his body moved like crazy to stop himself from being sent flying back. His eyes were like lightning as he stepped forward and crossed 30 feet in an instant. Then his palm reached out and hit the ground. This palm created a gust of wind, and the area within 5 kilometers seemed to have become an ocean. The entire sea let out a roar from the demon general's palm and charged toward Wang Lin like crazy. Withstand my 100-wave demon sea and then you are qualified to talk with me. Wang Lin's body backed up and he immediately felt the change in demonic spiritual energy around him. Demonic spiritual energy was normally incorporeal, but this spell seemed to turn it into a real ocean. That palm caused the ocean to surge and crash down upon Wang Lin. Compared to the 10 collapses, this 100-wave demon sea was even more powerful. The intent contained inside it was even stronger than the fist intent in the 10th collapse punch. Facing the sea of demonic spiritual energy, Wang Lin suddenly had an idea flash into his mind. Back on planet Suzaku, there was a rumor that a powerful cultivator used a spell to make the sea into a mist, thus creating the Sea of Devils' unique appearance. When Wang Lin heard of it back then, although he was shocked, he more or less didn't believe it. However, today he personally saw the demon general turn the invisible demonic spiritual energy into a visible sea. Although this shocked him, it mostly made him think very deeply about this matter. As the demon sea surged, waves began to stack up on top of each other until there were 30 of them, and Wang Lin was focused on continuing to back up. Backing up didn't mean he had failed, it was him buying time to think of a way to break it. The 30 waves of the demon sea stacked together and chased after Wang Lin. Wang Lin's hands moved quickly, creating restrictions to prevent the waves from closing in. However, these restrictions were like thin paper before the waves. They quickly shattered and dissipated into specks of black light. As the waves became more fierce, Wang Lin's eyes lit up. He was about to take out some blood jades from Yaroshishua's bag to help him resist when the golden symbol he absorbed from the second statue suddenly appeared in his head. This symbol suddenly imprinted in his mind. But Wang Lin ignored it and took out a large amount of blood jades. He crushed them and waves of blood light filled the area. This blood-colored light covered Wang Lin's entire body. At this moment, the 30 waves arrived and landed on the blood-colored light. There was a series of rumbles like angry waves hitting on a rock. The blood-colored light lasted for several breaths of time before immediately collapsing, and the waves closed in. As the waves closed in, the golden symbol in Wang Lin's mind became even clearer and more profound. Wang Lin's eyes lit up. Having reached his current cultivation level meant that his entire body had been tempered by celestial spiritual energy and he had full mastery over his mind, so random things shouldn't appear in his mind during battle. But at this moment, the golden symbol flashed violently in his mind. It seemed ready to break free and fly out from Wang Lin's mind. With the interference of the golden symbol, he couldn't think clearly. Even the movement of celestial spiritual energy inside his body was affected by the flashing, golden symbol. Wang Lin's eyes lit up. Wind does not come from an empty cave for no reason, and the symbol might not have appeared in his head for no reason. He decided to open his mind, and his hand sent out a restriction. The grey gas gathered before his body and his right finger quickly swiped across it. With one stroke, the grey gas twisted and formed a symbol. After drawing the symbol, Wang Lin felt his mind become extremely clear, and he had the urge to release the power inside him. The moment the symbol appeared, the demon general's eyes narrowed. From his view, this symbol had no power, but if Wang Lin was using it at this critical moment, it couldn't be normal. Wang Lin's finger didn't stop, it moved once more over the symbol. With another stroke, he created a two-stroke symbol. The demon general's eyes became even more serious. When that symbol formed, he immediately felt like he was facing the heavens. Wang Lin's finger moved once more and the three-stroke symbol was created. At this moment, the golden symbol in his mind melted into a golden force that fused with the three-stroke golden symbol. Just at this moment, a powerful force came from the symbol. This force was extremely powerful, and it caused the demon general's heart to tighten. He quickly increased the 30 waves into 60 waves and sent them forward. After a series of rumbles, the symbol met the 30 waves, causing the waves to collapse, but the symbol dimmed after doing so. The golden symbol then collided with the next 30 waves, and they cancelled each other out. But just at this moment, 3 strands of grey gas appeared where the symbol disappeared. They pierced through the demon sea and charged directly at the demon general. The demon general's eyes narrowed and he shouted, "Armor, activate." With one word, a curtain of demonic spiritual energy suddenly appeared 7 feet before him. The 3 strands of grey gas collided with the curtain and shook violently before being bounced back. Now they were slightly dimmer than before. The demon general's eyes lit up, then he laughed and took a step forward. What a powerful symbol spell! Wang Lin, I have indeed underestimated you. However, it seems the symbol has a lot more to it. How about you display it all and have a battle with me? Wang Lin coldly asked, "Where is 13? We'll talk after we finish fighting." The demon general laughed and his eyes lit up like a torch. Wang Lin's eyes lit up as he backed up several steps and said, "Once I use my final ace, you will die for sure." "Oh, then show it to me. If it can really kill me, I'll be satisfied." The demon general's eyes lit up as he created another 40 waves that crashed toward Wang Lin. "If I were to kill you, I would have no way to stay in this sky demon country. Watch carefully, you will know yourself if you can withstand this blow." Wang Lin didn't try to take on the 40 waves. Instead, he flew hundreds of feet into the air and suddenly looked down. The demon general's eyes revealed a mysterious light, and with a thought, the 40 waves returned to him. Right now the 40 waves moved around him like 40 dragons, and the current him was like a demonic sea god. Wang Lin floated in the air and closed his eyes. The demon general was far stronger than he thought. The 10 collapse punch was only one of the demon general's spells. This 100-wave demon sea should be his true killing move. As for whether the demon general had any more hidden abilities, although Wang Lin was curious, he didn't want to find out. Although this person's cultivation was only at the peak of the late stage of soul transformation like Wang Lin's, his spells were far more powerful than Wang Lin's. Wang Lin had to admit that he was lacking in terms of spells. Even when using his treasures, he wasn't confident that he could win. This was the first time in hundreds of years that Wang Lin had faced someone who had the same cultivation level as him, and not only was he not confident that he could win, if he was just a bit careless, he would lose. Right now he was also inside the demon general's city. His goal was to save 13, and if he suffered any injuries, the chance of the rescuing 13 would disappear. After Wang Lin learned he couldn't win, he had the idea of a trick. He floated in the air with his eyes closed and recalled the giant handprint he saw in the celestial realm. Back then, he spent a lot time next to it to learn from it, and then later he used it against Red Butterfly. However, that palm only had the shape and no power behind it. However, this spell was something no one could see through. After all, the moment it appears, its pressure is already at an unimaginable degree. That giant hand print slowly condensed in his mind, and his mentality changed to the way it was back when he was comprehending it. At this moment, his eyes suddenly opened up, and they showed an inexplicable color. With one gaze, he looked down on the ground and felt like he was looking over the entire world. As for the demon general, He now looked like an ant. When the demon general saw this gaze, his heart shook violently for the first time. This gaze is something I only feel when I look at the ancient demon in the temple. It is something not even the demon emperor possesses. The demon general's body trembled, and the waves around him began to rotate out of control. Wang Lin reached out with his right hand and pressed down. This palm caused the sky to darken, and various mysterious forces gathered below Wang Lin and formed an incredibly large palm print. Then he pressed down his palm. The demon general's body shook violently and the waves around him began to surge like crazy. At this moment, everything before him was replaced by that giant palm print. The moment the palm print appeared, it fell from the sky. A feeling that he couldn't defeat it, couldn't resist it, and couldn't even dodge it appeared in his heart. It was as if this palm was the heavens and earth. This palm could destroy the world, and this palm could destroy all life. This feeling enveloped his heart, and his body trembled involuntarily. Although this palm had not yet fallen, the pressure it gave off destroyed his will to battle. The demon general struggled to let out a roar, and an unyielding feeling appeared in his heart. As he stared at the rapidly descending palm, battle intent erupted from inside him. Even if you are the heavens, I have to fight. Even if you can destroy the world, I must fight. Even if you can destroy all life, you can't destroy the will to fight in my heart. His body suddenly stood straight and he let out an unyielding roar. The waves around the demon general turned into countless sea dragons that charged at the sky. When the palm print landed, the demon general's battle intent reached its peak, but at this moment, a gentle breeze swept by him. The palm landed on the demon general and caused no change. The demon general was startled. This expression hadn't appeared on his face in a long time. What followed after was the uncontrollable, lingering sense of fear that one gets after walking by death's door. You are already dead. Wang Lin landed from the air and looked at the demon general. The demon general's expression was complex as he looked at Wang Lin with doubt in his heart. What spell is this? He asked. Wang Lin's expression was neutral as he calmly said, this spell has no name. The demon general pondered for a bit and then the waves around his body quickly disappeared. He looked at Wang Lin and said, you haven't fully learned this spell. Wang Lin's expression didn't change and he only said one thing. You can try again. The demon general was very uncertain. Although he suspected that Wang Lin could only perform the illusion of the attack without any real power behind it, it was only his suspicion. Even if he was 90% confident, just remembering the life and death feeling he wasn't willing to risk it. Even thinking about that palm caused his heart to tremble. The demon general pondered for a long time before saying, this is your ace. Wang Lin didn't explain. He knew that the more he explained, the more openings he would show. He knew that the spell was only an illusion and that anyone would be suspicious. However, suspicion will remain suspicion. It was something the demon general couldn't confirm. That's why he didn't speak and only calmly looked at the demon general. The demon general let out a sigh. He still didn't have the courage to risk that 90% doubt against that 10% truth. If it turned out to be real, he could die. It could be that even with his cultivation, if he were to use the spell's true power, he would suffer great backlash, maybe even to the point where his body can't stand it and will collapse, so he only used an illusion. This was the only explanation that the demon general was willing to believe. His suspicion was still there, but it was forcibly suppressed by him. Wang Lin calmly asked, where is 13? I'm refining a magical treasure that requires 18 people with strong bodies. I went into closed-door cultivation this time to refine the treasure. Your follower, 13, is later in line, so he hasn't been refined yet. Then the demon general slowly said, I can give him back to you because you are my commander, but you killed tens of thousands of demon soldiers and destroyed 5 kilometers of the city. This matter I can't let go so easily. Wang Lin's expression didn't change at all and he said, what do you want? The demon general slowly said, in 3 months, I need to return to the capital of the Sky Demon country for a debriefing. During that time, there will be a competition between the demon generals. If you promise to help me, I'll forget about the matter of you killing my demon soldiers. Otherwise, even if I die, you won't be able to gain a foothold in this country. At this moment, he considered Wang Lin his equal. Not counting that illusionary palm, just the fact that Wang Lin could break his 10 collapse punch and withstand the 100-wave demon sea caused Wang Lin's standing in the demon general's mind to skyrocket. This person has the same cultivation level as me. If it wasn't for the fact that his spells can't compare to mine, this would be a difficult fight. Thinking about spells, he suddenly remembered that palm, and the idea that Wang Lin's spells weren't a match for his completely disappear. Compared to that palm, my spells are nothing. I'm afraid only the Demon Emperor can match that spell, the Demon General sighed. Wang Lin pondered a bit and nodded. The Demon General let out a laugh. This laugh washed away all the unpleasantness from before. He smiled and said, "Good. From today onward, I, Left-Wing General Molahai, name you as my only Vice-General. If I can place in the top 3 among the Demon Generals, I'll ask the Demon Emperor to make you a general. At that time, you will have your own city and 100,000 demon soldiers at your command. You will definitely have a bigger advantage than a majority of the foreigners." With that, his right hand reached out and created a black vortex. There were specks of light inside the vortex. The Demon General casually pointed at one of the specks, causing it to collapse. Then 13's body flew out and landed before Wang Lin. His remark just now was to appease Wang Lin and use the position of general to make Wang Lin try his hardest. At the same time, he didn't use 13 to threaten him. This showed that he was treating Wang Lin with sincerity. However, this was only because he saw Wang Lin's strength. Feeling the power of that palm was what made him give Wang Lin such treatment. Although he suspected that palm, in the end, it was only suspicion, and as long as he could never confirm it, he wouldn't risk it. The more intelligent someone is, the more likely they are to think this way. Although the Demon General had an open personality, having reached this level of cultivation meant that he wasn't dumb. In fact, he wouldn't lose to Wang Lin in cleverness. "I'll return in 3 months. Wang Lin's divine sense swept past 13. He found that 13 had no injuries and was only in a coma. He grabbed 13, took a step into the air, and disappeared over the horizon. The Demon General had his hand behind his back as he looked into the sky and shook his head. The 5 people who were equal to late-stage soul transformation cultivators rushed in. When the 5 of them watched the fight earlier, their hearts were completely absorbed in it, and they weren't able to pull themselves out for a long time. The 5 of them only recovered now that Wang Lin had left. One of the 5 said, "Demon General, I believe that his palm strike is fake. If you were to act, you could definitely kill him. Even though I know that there is a 90% chance that that palm is a bluff, I can't bring myself to risk it. Even if he only knows how to use an illusion, to make me hesitate so much means that he is indeed clever. To make it so what's real looks fake and what's fake looks real, this person can't be underestimated. Also, 1 year ago, against my 10 collapse punch, he had to use a secret technique to withstand up to 7 collapses. Now, 1 year later, his cultivation has increased exponentially. He and Commander Yarrow disappeared around the same time, yet only he came back, so there's something hidden there. But it has nothing to do with me." The Demon General's words were directed at the 5 of them, but he was mostly muttering to himself. The 5 of them silently pondered as they all raised their heads to look at where Wang Lin went to. A very complex feeling involuntarily appeared in their hearts. Wang Lin floated in the air and spread out his divine sense. He found the dark prison inside the city and appeared before it with the unconscious 13. This dark prison was underground. Although there were restrictions placed all over the area, none of them besides the ones in the depths of the prison could stop Wang Lin. With Hu Pao's status, he couldn't have been locked away in the deeper part of the prison. Wang Lin spread out his divine sense but was unable to find any trace of Hu Pao. He let out a sigh and then disappeared without a trace. Wang Lin moved extremely fast. Now that his cultivation had reached the peak of the late stage of soul transformation, his speed was several times faster than before. Even though he was carrying 13, it didn't take long for him to return to the soul refining tribe. Wang Lin appeared in a flash of light dozens of kilometers away from the soul refining tribe. Before him, he could see the soul refining tribe not far off. Although the soul refining tribe didn't expand during this year, all of the members had been working hard on their cultivation. This 10-kilometer area was all under the control of the soul refining tribe. There was a thick, black fog in the sky above this 10-kilometer area. Sometimes soul fragments moved within this black fog, and sometimes ghostly wails slowly echoed inside it. The people inside the soul refining tribe had gotten accustomed to the ghostly wails from the black fog. The louder the wails, the more soul fragments were inside. A majority of the people inside the soul refining tribe were cultivating right now. They all had their souls out as soul fragments flew out of the soul flags and into the black fog. At the same time, soul fragments returned from the black fog and went back inside the soul flags. After Wang Lin appeared, he took one step and charged toward the soul refining tribe like a bolt of lightning. He let out a smile, as he had already noticed more than 10 people at 10 different locations carefully observing the area. He was very familiar with these people. Their duty was to stand guard outside. Wang Lin's divine sense spread out, and within 50 kilometers, there were more than 100 people on guard. It didn't take long for Wang Lin to arrive about 1,000 feet away from the tribe. This was where he stopped. After he stopped, a powerful gust of wind followed him and blew toward the tribe. The moment he stopped, someone immediately saw Wang Lin. After a moment of shock, their eyes were filled with excitement. Ancestor! A shout filled with joy quickly awakened everyone from their cultivation. In almost an instant, all of the tribe members stood up. Ouyang Hua turned into a cloud of black mist as he charged through the tribe. He stopped about 10 feet before Wang Lin with a face full of excitement and respectfully said, "Welcome back, Ancestor." At the same time, all of the tribe members knelt down on one knee and said, in a chorus, "Welcome back, Ancestor." The central valley of the soul refining tribe was an area that belonged solely to Wang Lin. Right now he was sitting inside the valley with 13 down on one knee before him. 13's eyes were filled with excitement. It has already been 3 days since Wang Lin returned to the tribe, and 13 had been awakened by him with a spell. After awakening, 13 immediately saw Wang Lin, and his heart was immediately filled with excitement. Wang Lin learned from 13 roughly what happened during this year of time. After talking about Hu Pao, Wang Lin let out a sigh. Hu Pao disappearing from the dark prison was very strange. With his peak late-stage soul transformation divine sense, he swept the whole city and didn't find a trace of Hu Pao. Hu Pao cultivated the soul refining technique that Wang Lin taught him, so in the end, the final control of the soul fragments belonged to Wang Lin. However, Wang Lin couldn't find a trace of the soul fragments refined by Hu Pao. If Hu Pao didn't die, then he must be in some mysterious place. There is no other reason why I can't find him. Wang Lin pondered for a bit before giving up on this matter regarding Hu Pao. He had already done his best. He raised his head to look at 13. One of the reasons he had brought Hu Pao and 13 to ancient Demon City was to test them. If the two passed his test, he would teach them new techniques. For Hu Pao, aside from soul refining, there was also soul extraction. However, this soul extraction spell required much more effort than soul refining. Although Wang Lin had modified it, he wouldn't casually teach it. As for 13, the original idea of giving 13 the ancient god tactic was immediately discarded. The ancient god tactic was something he could never teach. However, during this year, 13 had passed Wang Lin's test with flying colors. Wang Lin could feel that 13 would be completely loyal to him for at least several decades. On planet Suzaku, Wang Lin had a lot of interactions with the giant demon clan. When he killed the giant demon clan ancestor, he also obtained the giant demon clan ancestor's bag of holding. Aside from that drop of ancient god blood, there were also some jades in there. Among these jades there was a record of a body cultivation method called the 9 cultivations of the Titan. Back then, Wang Lin only quickly looked at it and forgot about it. Now he looked at 13 as he touched his bag of holding and a cyan jade appeared in his hand. Wang Lin scanned it with his divine sense and thought, "This is it." The 9 cultivations of the Titan had a total of 9 levels and was a body refining technique. After memorizing all 9 chants, he wiped out the last 3 levels and threw it to 13. 13 caught the jade with excitement. His gratitude toward Wang Lin was already indescribable. He knelt down on the ground, kowtowed a few times, and said, "Ancestor, 13 will only listen to you for the rest of his life. Guard the soul refining tribe well. Now go. Wang Lin waved his right hand and a gentle breeze sent 13 out of the valley. Wang Lin sat by himself inside the valley. The sky was covered by the black fog. This black fog was formed by the 1 billion soul flag, and using it to nurture soul fragments had the best effect. I felt safe leaving the flag here when I was at ancient demon city. However, the capital is too far away, so I can't leave the flag here. Wang Lin looked up at the black fog in the sky before closing his eyes and beginning to cultivate. At this moment, far to the west of the soul refining sect, almost halfway across the sky demon country, there was an endless desert. This place was known as a very fierce place in the demon spirit land. Rumor has it that countless years ago, this was an ancient battleground of the demon spirit land. Millions of kilometers of land were covered in corpses, and the ground was dyed dark red. Just one glance was enough to shock anyone's heart. Outside this ancient battleground there was an invisible restriction that cut off everything from the outside world. At this moment, there was a young man sitting in this ancient battleground. Before him were more than 100 small flags. These flags moved without any wind and slowly circled around him. A strand of black mist surrounded his body, and the presence of this black mist caused the large amount of souls that were sleeping here to awaken. Every time a soul fragment awakened, a violent strand of black gas would charge out from the ground. It would spin with the black mist for a few laps before going inside one of the small flags. There was a black-robed old man 1,000 feet away from the young man. This person coldly looked at the young man, and after one incense stick of time, he said, "Okay, finish up." The young man nodded, then his hand formed a seal and all the small flags released a black glow and landed in his hand. At this moment, the young man opened his eyes. The moment he saw the old man, he immediately stood up and respectfully said, "Hu Pao greets benefactor." The old man nodded and said, "Very good. When the time comes that you can refine all the soul fragments in this ancient battleground with your soul refining skill, there is nowhere you won't be able to go in the demon spirit land." Hu Pao's face was filled with excitement as he said, "This is all because of benefactor. You saved my life, taught me spells, and brought me here to refine soul fragments. Hu Pao will forever remember those things." The old man's expression was still cold as he said, "If it wasn't for the fact that your spell is strange and is something I have never seen before, I wouldn't have saved you. In addition, your previous master returned to ancient demon city, fought with the demon general, and saved 13. I was one step too late." Hu Pao revealed a complex expression and said, "If I can refine all the soul fragments here, the first thing I'll do is kill this Wang Lin." The old man looked at Hu Pao and said, "He did, after all, teach you the soul refining spell. Why do you insist on killing this person?" Hu Pao pondered a bit before he sneered. "Although he taught me the soul refining spell, he had ulterior motives. If not for Wang Lin angering Sima Yang, I wouldn't have been thrown into the dark prison. In the first few months in the dark prison, I had hopes for Wang Lin to come to save me, but as time passed by, that hope was destroyed. When I was being tortured, where was he? When I was being abused, where was he? In the end, all of my expectations for him to save me turned to hate. If it wasn't for him, how would have ended up like this? Luckily, Benefactor rescued me, and on that day, when I woke up, I swore I would never be a slave again." The old man's cold face gradually revealed a hint of a smile as he said, "Good. To have such decisive thinking, no wonder you are someone who caught my attention." Then the old man turned around, took one step, and disappeared without a trace. Hu Pao clenched his fist as he looked into the distance and muttered to himself, 13 is too simple and is being cheated by Wang Lin. During those months in the dark prison, I realized that Wang Lin considers me and 13 disposable pawns. Wang Lin, one day, when I use my soul flags and release tens of millions of soul fragments, I want to see your expression. I want to see how you will resist my tens of millions of soul fragment. Once I cultivate the world-destroying suppression method to the 4th level, I will have endless demonic spiritual energy. Wang Lin, Sima Yang, just you two wait. Hu Pao's eyes revealed thick killing intent. There was a pitch-black tower in the depths of this ancient battleground. This tower was dozens of feet tall and there were rings of light around it. These rings seemed to be able to absorb all the light coming at it. From a distance, the tower seemed to have an air of majesty around it. The black-robed man's figure appeared outside the tower. He took a deep breath and stepped into the tower. At the top of the tower, he knelt down on both knees. Before him was a set of armor. This armor looked very old and was definitely not something from this era. If someone with discerning eyes were to see this, they would immediately recognize that this armor had some extraordinary history behind it. It was still fairly intact and was completely black. There were countless patterns engraved on it, and they were all clouds. These clouds were completely black, which gave off a strange feeling. From a distance, this set of armor looked like a person sitting cross-legged in the room and gave of an irresistible sense of majesty. Waves of black gas came out from the armor and filled the tower. Two ghostly lights suddenly appeared inside the helmet like a pair of eyes, and its gaze fell on the old man. At this moment, the world outside trembled slightly as if a celestial spirit had descended. The old man took a deep breath and said, "Your subordinate has checked and found out that the demon emperor of the Sky Demon Country, Scorpio, should have already made the last step 1,000 years ago, but he is forcibly suppressing it." The ghostly light inside the helmet flashed and an invisible chill came out from the armor. The old man's body and mind trembled and cold sweat appeared on his forehead. After a long time, the ghostly light landed on the old man's eyes as if sending a message. After a few breaths of time, the ghostly light dissipated and the armor returned to normal. The mysterious aura around the armor disappeared too. The old man's entire body was covered in sweat as he said, "Yes." After that, he stood up and respectfully left the highest floor of the tower. Then he returned to the first floor and sat down in the lotus position. This time he was clearly more relaxed. If this child, Hu Pao, can absorb a lot of soul fragments, then combining the mysterious nature of the soul refining technique and my alchemy skill, his cultivation can increase rapidly in a short period of time. Then I'll let him cultivate Master's momentary art to condense all his longevity and potential into just 1 hour of power so he can become one of the Demon Guardian. This soul refining spell is very mysterious, but I feel like there is some flaw hidden within it. However, Master can't be awake for too long, so I can't waste his time on this small matter. If not for the fact that Hu Pao knows this mysterious soul refining spell, with his qualification and status, he wouldn't be qualified to become a demon guardian. If this experiment is successful, I'll have to go check out that soul refining tribe. Inside the inner valley of the soul refining tribe, Wang Lin touched his bag of holding and a ball of restrictions suddenly flew out. He sent out a seal at the ball of restrictions and then it suddenly enlarged and opened like a flower blooming. Inside, Yarrow Shishua was sitting in the lotus position and her face was deathly pale. The life seal placed on her forehead continued to flash. Every time it flashed, it would send a bit of life force into her body to prevent her from dying. Yarrow Shishua opened her eyes and gave Wang Lin a vicious stare. Her hatred for Wang Lin was endless. Wang Lin completely ignored Yarrow Shishua's gaze as he calmly said, "Fellow cultivator Yarrow, have you considered my proposal from last time?" Yarrow Shishua clenched her teeth. She couldn't feel the passage of time inside this restriction, which made a feeling of helplessness arise in her heart. Although it has only been a bit over a year on the outside, for her, it felt like an eternity. Wang Lin looked at Yarrow Shishua and softly said, "My patience has its limits, so I'll only give you 3 chances. This time you can choose not to answer again, but next time will be the 3rd time. If you still don't wish to answer, then we will never meet again. Are you not afraid of my father hunting you down?" Yarrow Shishua clenched her first. Wang Lin faintly smiled and nodded. "I'm afraid. The blood ancestor's cultivation is far above mine. If I'm hunted by him, I'm afraid I won't even have the chance to escape with my low cultivation. However, I was forced into this situation. If it wasn't for you scheming against me, I would not have plotted against you. Everything has a cause and effect. If I let you go, I will still offend the blood ancestor, but if I keep you at hand, I might have a chance to live." Yarrow Shishua quickly said, "If you let me go, I'll swear to never tell my father about it and the grudge between us will be cleared." Wang Lin carefully looked at Yarrow Shishua and said, "I don't believe you." "You." Yarrow Shishua took a deep breath and said, "What do you want?" Wang Lin said, Follow my rule, answer one of my questions, and I'll decrease the amount of time I seal you for by 50 years. Yarrow Shishue lowered her head. Her eyes showed signs of struggle. Wang Lin patiently looked at her. Half an incense stick of time later, she raised her head and coldly said, "Even if you seal me, with my father's ability, he will still find me. At that time, I'll personally see my father destroy your body, extract your soul, and lock it in the nether place. At that time, you will know what it means to be better off dead than alive." Wang Lin let out a sigh and said, "You wasted your second chance. I hope you will treasure the next time." With that, his eyes lit up and he took a step forward. He arrived before Yarrow Shishue, grabbed her jaw, and with a little force, forced her little mouth open. Yarrow Shishue's face was completely pale. She wanted to struggle, but her body had no strength. Wang Lin revealed a smile that was not a smile as he inserted 2 fingers into Yarrow Shishue's mouth. When he withdrew his hand, there was a red needle between his fingers. You used trace amounts of essence from inside your body to form this needle. If given enough time, you might really be able to use this needle to block the life seal and die within this restriction. With that, Wang Lin crushed the needle, causing it to dissipate in a cloud of red mist. Yarrow Shishue's body trembled. Her gaze toward Wang Lin could no longer be described as vicious. Yarrow Shishue took a deep breath, then a rare trace of clarity appeared in her eyes and she softly said, "Wang Lin, if there is a day I escape, I'll use any means to torture you in the most cruel way." At this moment, it was as if there was an invisible force working on Yarrow Shishue's body. It was slowly condensing all her hatred for Wang Lin and gradually changing it to break open the void. Wang Lin faintly smiled and said, "It looks like there are too few restrictions on your body." He waved his right hand, and with a gentle breeze, Yarrow Shishue's clothes were blown away, revealing her voluptuous body. Wang Lin carefully examined her body. Yarrow Shishue's eyes still maintained the clarity she had before, but Wang Lin could see that it was starting to dissipate. Wang Lin's eyes lit up as his right hand reached out and poked several places on her body. Every location he poked was a sensitive spot for Yarrow Shishue. Every time his finger landed, he sent a trace of celestial spiritual energy into her body. Yarrow Shishue's body slowly turned red, and the clarity in her eyes disappeared and was replaced by endless humiliation and hostility once more. Yarrow Shishue's malice had reached its limit, and she hysterically shrieked, "Wang Lin, you are despicable, shameless. I, Yarrow Shishue, will never forgive you." Wang Lin let out a sigh of relief. This Yarrow Shishue's talent was indeed amazing. At that moment, she was going to turn her incredible hatred for him into a type of understanding. To enter the Tao through hatred, that was where that clarity from her eyes came from. If she was successful, then he wouldn't be able to seal her with just the life seal. That was why Wang Lin removed her clothes, stimulated her body with celestial spiritual energy until the clarity in her eyes disappeared, and destroyed the state she had just entered. Wang Lin softly said, "There are too few seals on you." His hands moved, creating countless restrictions that landed on Yarrow Shishue's body. Wang Lin's restrictions mercilessly created a cycle on her sensitive spots. As a result, that kind of stimulation from before would constantly be invading her body. This was the only way to keep her from regaining her clarity and have that kind of enlightenment like before. After doing all of this, Wang Lin pointed at her and the restrictions that had opened up immediately began to close. They turned back into a ball again and Wang Lin put it away inside his bag of holding. The blood ancestor's Dafa is a problem. The only way to deal with her is to find a secret place to seal her. However, I must get all the secrets out of her first. If my cultivation reaches the ascendant stage, I can just use the soul search spell. If I were to use it now, a slight mistake might kill her and leave a lot of problems in the future. Time passed and more than 2 months quickly went by. There were only a few days until his promise with the demon general. On this day, Wang Lin walked out of the valley with Ouyang Hua behind him. Wang Lin slowly said, "After I leave, dispatch hundreds of people to the surrounding tribes regardless of their size. Use any method necessary to integrate into the other tribe. Use the soul fragments to resist the various memory wiping potions the tribes have. Once inside, begin teaching them the soul refining spell so more people can learn them. As for the specifics, I'll let you arrange them yourself. Ouyang Hua softly responded in agreement. After pondering a bit, Wang Lin took out a piece of jade. He handed it to Ouyang Hua and said, "The soul refining spell actually has two parts. The first part is soul refining and the second part is soul extracting. This can't be taught to anyone who isn't a core disciple. Remember it well." Ouyang Hua took a deep breath as he accepted the jade with care. After reading it, he crushed it and said, in a serious tone, "Ancestor, I have memorized it and will not forget Ancestor's words. This spell will only be taught to the core disciples of the soul refining tribe." Wang Lin nodded and his hand reached toward the sky. All of the black fog over the soul refining tribe immediately gathered in his hand, forming a 30-foot-long flag. Then he quickly swallowed it with his origin soul. Then he took out several normal soul flags and threw them into the sky, creating a black fog to cover the sky once more. After doing all of this, Wang Lin took a step forward and immediately disappeared. A voice came from far away into Ouyang Hua's ears. "When I return, I hope the tribe will have more than 1 million members." Ouyang knelt down on the ground and said, in a serious voice, "I won't disappoint the ancestor." Although those words were for Wang Lin, who was now far away, it was more so a commitment to himself. Wang Lin moved through the sky, creating a streak of light, and charged directly toward ancient demon city. I wonder what kinds of dragons and tigers are hidden at the Sky Demon Country's capital. There will be more people from planet Tian Yun as well. I wonder if I'll meet any of them on this trip to the capital. There are also those 10 or so people from the Da Lu sword sect. If I meet any of them, I must capture one and question them about Ju Yi's whereabout. Wang Lin pondered, but his speed didn't slow down at all and he disappeared over the horizon. Demon General Mo Lehai was wearing a green shirt as he stood on top of the eastern gate of ancient demon city. Behind him were the chief commander and commanders. Mo Lehai looked into the distance and didn't say a word. After a long time, Mo Lehai withdrew his gaze and then turned around to carefully look at ancient demon city. In an instant, he saw the wreckage at the center of the city. Mo Lehai thought, after I leave this time, I won't come back, and another demon general will take over the city, so that wreckage has nothing to do with me. It is a pity that 13 was taken away by Wang Lin. I was only able to refine 17 of my 18 demon body techniques. However, if Wang Lin truly tries to help me this time, I'm confident I can enter the top 3 in the demon general competition. Then I'll obtain the qualification to enter the demon temple to cultivate, and once I come out, I'll be a vice commander-in-chief. Mo Lehai took a deep breath. His eyes concentrated in the distance and he revealed a smile. This person is someone who won't go back on his word. Mo Lehai laughed and his voice spread out. "Brother Wang, I'm here." Wang Lin appeared in the sky above the eastern gate. His eyes looked at the group before falling on Mo Lehai. "I made Brother Mo wait." Wang Lin smiled. "No problem. This trip is very important for me, so I'll be relying on Brother Wang." Mo Lehai took one step and appeared before Wang Lin. Wang Lin laughed. "No problem. It will take 3 transfer arrays to reach the capital, so Brother Wang, let's go." 2 rays of red light flew across ancient demon city and into the distance, leaving behind only thunderous echoes. Sky Demon City. It is located in the northern part of the Sky Demon Country. Surrounding it are countless mountains intersecting with each other. If one looks from the sky, these mountains seem to form the shape of 9 dragons coiling around the city. The 9 dragon heads all point toward a secluded lake. It is called Dragon Lake. The holy symbol of the Sky Demon Country, the ancient demon temple, is inside this Dragon Lake. Dragon Lake is heavily guarded. Sky Demon City is in front of Dragon Lake. To be more accurate, this city is formed by 9 cities with similar sizes to ancient demon city. The 9 cities make an 8 divinatory trigram with the royal palace at the center. There is a river around the royal palace with 8 bridges linking to each of the 8 cities. The royal palace is where the demon emperor lives and is filled with exquisite pavilions. The other 8 cities are also distinct and have their own styles. It is early morning, and the entire Sky Demon City is shrouded by a faint, green mist that comes from the Dragon Mountain ranges. The demon emperor calls it dragon energy, and cultivating this energy can increase cultivation. The entire Sky Demon City is like a large monster. As the green mist slowly dissipates, the sounds of people waking up makes it look like the giant beast is slowly awakening as well. There are 18 transfer arrays outside of Sky Demon City, and they are guarded by demon soldiers year-round. Of these 18 transfer arrays, 8 of them are used by the civilians, such as merchants, to travel everywhere. The remaining 10 can only be used by those with high status. There is a very clear distinction between the classes. The 14th transfer array is for the demon general's use only. Every time it actives, a demon general appears. A demon general is considered a powerhouse in Sky Demon City, one who controls a large amount of troops and amazing spells. At this moment, among the demon soldiers outside the 14th transfer array, there was clearly a demon soldier whose armor had more lines than the others. This soldier loosened his shoulders and put down his weapon. Then he took off his helmet, sat on it, turned around, and shouted, "Go, come here and massage my shoulders." After he shouted, one of the soldiers quickly ran out. He put on a smart face as he quickly got behind the person and began to massage. He asked, "Captain, is my strength good?" The captain moved his shoulders and smiled. "Yes, pretty good. Among you brats, you have the best control of strength." "Captain, normally this transfer array barely opens once a month. Why has it opened so much recently? It seems like a lot of demon generals are rushing here." Ergo took his chance to ask the question that had been bothering him for a while. "Today my mood is good, so I'll tell you." As the captain said that, the guards all immediately closed in. Apparently they all wanted to know what was going on as well. You guys are all new recruits from the last 100 years, so it is not strange you don't know about it. Every 300 years, there is a big competition between the demon generals, and the demon emperor personally attends it. The reward is sometimes demonic treasures or demonic spells. However, this time the competition has a completely different meaning, because 200 years ago, we suffered heavy losses against the Fire Demon country, including 2 vice-commander-in-chiefs. That is why the Demon Emperor will pick 2 new vice-commander-in-chiefs in this competition. After this was said, all the surrounding demon soldiers' eyes widened and their faces were filled with shock. Although demon generals and vice-commander-in-chiefs were only half a rank apart, the gap was almost impossible to cross. In the countless years that the Sky Demon country has existed, there have only been 8 commander-in-chiefs and 8 vice-commander-in-chiefs, while there have been hundreds of demon general. A so-called vice-commander-in-chief is not the commander-in-chief's assistant but the person next in line for the commander-in-chief position. Only the vice-commander-in-chief can challenge the commander-in-chief for the position. In the Sky Demon country, once the commander-in-chief dies, a vice-commander-in-chief takes over. That is the first step to becoming a commander-in-chief, become a vice-commander-in-chief. Looking at the shock on the surrounding demon soldiers' faces, the captain felt very proud. He let out a cough and said, "That is why the previously proud demon generals all came here." With how important this matter is, even those that originally didn't intend to participate are all coming as well. The 14th transfer array we guard is for demon generals only. That is why it has been so busy for the past several days. The demon soldier massaging his shoulders said, "Captain, which Lord Demon General do you think will win?" This is not easy to say. For someone to become a demon general, they must have powerful spells, but even spells have differences in strength. I believe that Lord Mo Fei, who holds the city next to the Fire Demon country, can enter the top 3. Also, there is the ancient demon city's Lord Mo Liahi. His cultivation is also considered high among demon generals. Just as the captain reached this point, his expression suddenly changed. He immediately stood up and the helmet flew into the air and landed on his head. Then his hand reached out and his weapon flew into his hand. He did this in almost an instant. The demon soldiers were all already accustomed to their captain's actions. Right now, even without his command, they were all standing straight and facing forward. Just at this moment, rings of light appeared above the transfer array, and there was a burst of demonic spiritual energy from it. Then 2 figures slowly appeared inside the transfer array, and just as they appeared, they each took a step forward. They both stepped out of the transfer array at the exact same time. Mo Lahai looked at the capital before him as he took a deep breath and said to the person behind him, "Brother Wang, it has been more than 30 years since I've returned to the capital. Wang Lin looked at the giant city before him. Although it was big, it was within Wang Lin's expectation. After all, this was the capital of Sky Demon Country. Greetings, General Mo. Just as the two stepped out, the demon soldiers outside immediately greeted them. Mo Lihai nodded slightly and smiled at Wang Lin. Brother Wang, this way. With that, he took a step and quickly moved toward the western gate. Wang Lin quickly followed, and the two of them disappeared into the distance. After the two of them left, the captain let out a sigh of relief. The demon soldier next to him whispered, "Captain, who is that person the demon general brought with him?" During this time, many of the demon generals had brought strangers with them. The captain stared at the demon soldier and said, "The competition between the demon generals this time is very important to all the demon generals, so they would naturally seek aid. For this person to be chosen by General Mo, he must have something special about him, so you all best not think too much about it." He looked toward the direction where Wang Lin and Mo Lihai went and thought, that person was recognized by Mo Lihai and was brought along using this transfer array, so his cultivation must not be simple. Also, from how polite Mo Lihai was to him, this person is definitely not simple. Mo Lihai was a demon general, so the soldiers at the western gate were extremely respectful when they saw him. They led them into the city before respectfully going back to their post. Mo Lihai looked at Wang Lin and sincerely said, "Brother Wang, the various forces in Sky Demon City are very messy, especially with all the demon generals gathering. It would be best for you to not live in the city and instead come with me to my mansion. How about it?" There were two cities connected to the western gate. The first was Shen City, and the second was Hong City. Mo Lihai said, "Sky Demon City has a total of 8 outer cities, and those 8 outer cities are split into inner and outer rings. Sky, Earth, Shen, and Yellow are the 4 inner cities, while Universe, Eternity, Hong, and Desolate are the outer cities. The inner cities are for civilian court officials, and the outer cities are for military. There are also more differences based on one's status. I live in Hong City." Wang Lin pondered a bit and nodded. "I'll listen to Brother Mo." Mo Lihai faintly smiled and nodded at Wang Lin. He then walked forward, and 1,000 feet before them was a fork in the road. The left route led to Shen City and the right to Hong City. Wang Lin followed Mo Lihai's guidance and walked through the city. This Hong City was very prosperous with many shops and people. The streets were very lively as people came and went. The road was very wide, but the crowds were all concentrated in the two sides, leaving an opening 1/3 the size of the road in the middle. Standing in the middle would allow you to see the road going far into the distance. Mo Lihai saw Wang Lin's gaze fall on the opening, so he smiled and explained, "This road is a military road, so ordinary people are not allowed to walk there." Just at this moment, roars came from the military road in the distance, and soon, a group of black war horses quickly rushed over. Wang Lin spread out his divine sense and found 19 horses in total. There was a black armored soldier sitting on each of them with cultivations roughly matching soul formation cultivators. The demonic spiritual energy from their bodies were all fused together in a mysterious way. There was demonic spiritual energy swirling in the sky above them, and it formed a vague shadow of a giant beast. The 19 of them charged directly at Wang Lin and Mo Lihai. Wang Lin looked at Mo Lihai and found that although Mo Lihai's expression was serious, there was a hidden smile on his face. The 19 of them stopped about a dozen or so feet from them. Then they all got off their horses, took a step forward, kneeled down, and loudly said, "Greetings, General Mo." Mo Lihai laughed, then he waved his hand and said, "All of you, get up. This person is my good friend, Vice General Wang. In the future, when you see him, it is the same as meeting me." The 19 of them turned toward Wang Lin without any hesitation and said, "Greetings, Vice General Wang." Wang Lin nodded lightly. The voices of these 19 people and the scene they created drew everyone's attention. Their faces were filled with shock and they retreated far away. "Brother Wang, follow me to my mansion. I'll have people prepare fine wine for us, so let's have a drink." Mo Liahi jumped onto one of the war horses. Wang Lin also jumped on a war horse and laughed. "Is it good wine?" "Of course it is good wine. Mo Lihai and Wang Lin looked at each other before laughing. Then the two of them rode off together, neither in front nor behind the other. The 19 people and remaining 17 war horses followed them. As the group of people moved along the military road, there were suddenly sounds of horses from the distance. Mo Lihai's expression sank, and instead of slowing down, he moved even faster. Wang Lin's eyes lit up. He saw an acquaintance. This video will end here.